Well everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the Google Pixel 9a and compare it against the Samsung Galaxy A56 and see which particular phones are the better ones for you. Now, the thing I will definitely tell you is that in my personal opinion, I do think both these devices are pretty solid, but there might be one that might be way better than the other one. So we'll take a look at that throughout this whole entire video. First things first, if you do want to go ahead and pick up either one of these particular devices though, links will be down in the description below. You can get them from there and you can help support the channel at the exact same time. Now, starting off with the outside of both these particular phones. The Google Pixel 9a and the Galaxy A56 came out this particular year. The A56, which came out just last month, on the front side of this particular phone is going to be giving you a 6.7-inch Super AMOLED display. So it's going to be a fairly big size panel. It's going to be a bigger size panel than the Pixel 9a, so keep that in mind. And it's a beautiful big phone. I do think getting a phone like this for the most part looks and feels very good. And it's a really nice device, you're right, I don't have too much to complain about here when it comes down to a phone like this. It's giving you a 120Hz display, which is amazing, and it's giving you 1900 nits of peak brightness, which that right there is another really big advantage. Like, once again, being able to go through and buy a device like this that's going to be giving you that type of capability, I think is actually really, really nice. And that is in and of itself a nice advantage for this type of device. Again, maybe it's not perfect, but it's still giving you like a pretty solid experience. And I do think with it being a big size display, 120Hz, high brightness, this can be a really good phone for some people out there. So I would probably tell you from that perspective, this is a really, really decent phone from that particular side when it comes down to it from that side. Now, on top of that, when it comes down to the Pixel 9a, this is going to be another one of those interesting things to keep in mind here too. So with the Pixel 9a, this one's going to be giving you basically a POLED display, and it's going to be 6.3 inches. So this is another one of those really, really big things to keep in mind here, because with this type of device, it was actually going to basically go through and give you a 2700 nits of peak brightness. That was something that was really, really cool to kind of think about too, because from what you can kind of tell, that type of device is going to be giving you a little bit of a better experience when it comes down to the brightness of that panel, whereas the Samsung Galaxy A56, that one's going to be giving you a bigger size panel. So it does kind of depend on which way you kind of want to go. I think both these devices do a pretty good job. I don't think there's like too many issues here, but when it does kind of come down to which one might be the better one for some people, the Pixel 9a does have a higher likelihood of kind of giving you a kind of more higher quality panel, I would say, than something like the Galaxy A56. From that side too, that is one of those big things to keep in mind there as well. On top of that, when it comes down to some other areas, they both have USB Type-C ports at the bottom, flat sides all throughout. The back side, the Galaxy A56 does actually go through and kind of give you this type of, glass back, where the Google Pixel 9a is going to be going through and giving you this, standard, it's going to be a frosted plastic. So that right there is going to be a little bit of a difference there as well, because if you're trying to go through and get the device, that is going to be giving you a little bit of a better experience here. Once again, something like the Galaxy A56 is going to feel a little bit more premium than something like the Google Pixel 9a. They're both giving you cameras on the back and everything like that, but I'd probably say the Pixel 9a has a better looking front, where the Galaxy A56 has a better feeling and looking back. The price tag of these phones are also slightly different. The Pixel 9a costs about $499 brand new. It's only been out for like a week. The Galaxy A56, it's been out for a bit more. On Amazon, it's available for about $379. So that right there is going to be another, big difference here. If you're wanting the phone that is going to be giving you a little bit of a better experience here, you might have to look at something like a, Galaxy A56 for giving you a cheaper phone. So once again, kind of keep that in mind here too. When it basically comes down to some other areas of these devices, kind of like their cameras, this is also going to be another one of those really important things to keep in mind here as well. So between both, they're both basically giving you these cameras. The Galaxy A56 is giving you this triple camera setup, a 50 megapixel wide, 12 megapixel ultra wide, then 5 megapixel macro lens, whereas the Pixel 9a is giving you a 48 megapixel wide angle lens and a 13 megapixel ultra wide camera. Now, here's the thing. The Google Pixel 9a can do 4K at 60 on the back and 4K at 30 on the front, but the Galaxy A56 can only do 4K at 30 on the front and the back, which is still fine, which is still okay probably for a lot of people. But I'm going to be honest, if you are about to go through and pick up a phone, you probably want to go and buy a device that's going to be giving you like a little bit of better experience here and there. And with something like the Google Pixel 9a, this one I do think might be giving you slightly better experiences when it comes down to that side. And I think that is without a doubt a really important thing to keep in mind, because if you're going to go through and pick up a device, like I said before, it probably does make a lot of sense to go and buy one of those types of devices. So I do think the Pixel 9a's camera is slightly better, but I still think the Galaxy A56's camera is still decent for the most part, and you're not really going to be running into like an insane amount of problems when it comes down to that device. So it's not really the biggest deal in the world, but that could be one specific issue or one specific thing that you might run into here within those types of devices. When it comes down to their software longevity, both these phones are still supported with software, and they're probably going to be supported with software for like 6 to 7 years now. So both these devices are going to be supported for a long period of time. You genuinely probably don't have too many things to worry about here when it comes down to these two devices. And I do think that is, again, in and of itself, another really important thing to keep in mind here too. Because when it comes down to both, you're going to be able to get long-lasting software support between both these devices. And I do think that is in and of itself another really cool, another really important thing to kind of keep in mind here when you're going to go through and like pick up these types of devices. So that kind of covers it up there. From a battery life perspective, I'm not really too sure which one would last longer, but they both have around the same battery size, 5,000 on the A56, 5,100 on the Pixel 9a. I would probably say when it comes down to both, you're probably going to be getting long-lasting devices between both. I think there's a pretty high likelihood with something like a Samsung Galaxy A56. This one may last longer because it's not as bright of a display, but I still feel like you're getting a long-lasting phone between both, and there isn't really too much to complain about here for the most part. So I do think that is in and of itself, again, another one of those really important things to keep in mind there too. On top of that, when it comes down to the performance, the Galaxy A56 is basically going to be going through and giving you this Exynos chipset inside with 6, 8, or 12 gigabytes of RAM, whereas on this Google Pixel 9a, this phone's going to be giving you the Tensor G4 chipset inside with basically about, 8 gigs of RAM. So you are getting quite a bit of RAM inside of that type of device, which I think is really cool. But the maxed out Galaxy A56 is going to be giving you a more powerful phone, but you will have to spend more money on that type of device. So kind of keep that in mind, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. From my experience, from what I've seen though, you are getting very good type of capability and a very good power between both these devices. And I do think if you are going to go there and pick up these types of phones, that is without a doubt another one of those really cool and really important things to keep in mind here too. Because both these devices are going to be fairly powerful, but when it comes down to it, if I had to pick up one, I kind of do feel like I would rather have a Google Pixel 9a than either one of these types of phones. I think the Pixel 9a is a better phone. I think it's going to be giving me a better experience, but I think the Galaxy A56 is still a very decent phone too, and is slightly cheaper. And it is slightly cheaper, but there's also some other phones you can also buy out there too. You can buy something like a Samsung Galaxy A56 and still get a really good experience from that. You can also buy something like a Google Pixel 9 Pro or a Galaxy S23, iPhone 14 Pro, like those types of phones which could be giving you still really good experiences. Those ones are very good options, and you can't really go wrong with either one of these types of devices. So in terms of that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that will mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.